This is going to be a video guide that kind of explains how to complete the alien periodic table activity. And so I'm going to switch back and forth between a few things. Anytime you're manipulating your Google slide, you're going to have it in this view, so not in the slideshow. In the slideshow, you cannot manipulate the actual document. And just to make it a little easier, I might go into the slideshow so we can actually read some of these documents. So in this activity, what you're going to do is you're going to arrange a set of aliens in some logical pattern so that they form a organized rectangular block. Okay, so either that's going to be either a 4x5 or a 5x4 grid. Okay, so a couple of terms you need to know. So groups are families. They're the vertical columns. They go up and down. Periods are the horizontal rows. They go left to right. And so in this activity, within each group, all the aliens must be exactly the same in some way. That's going to be their key similarity. And they will also share some feature that changes with a regular repeating pattern. That's what's known as the varying trait. And similarly, within each period, there's going to be the same thing. There's going to be a key similarity that ties them together that makes them identical. And there's going to be some varying trait, this thing that has some predictable, repeatable pattern in it. And so you're going to actually have a set of 18 elements. Actually, it's going to be a 20 grid, but you're going to only have 18 in your set. So that means you're going to be missing 2 aliens. All you need to do is just leave empty spaces in your rectangular block for those aliens. And once you've done that, you're going to be able to organize your stuff into a data table. And so this is showing kind of how you would fill out the data table. This is kind of a summary here. And so, for example, here, you would say, okay, in the group 1, so group 1 would be the first column, so it maybe the key similarity with all the aliens, they'll have circle bodies. And the varying trait might be the number of fingers they have going down the group. Here, group 2, same thing, maybe they all have triangle bodies. Maybe their varying traits the number of toes. So something related to that. Okay, the next thing you're going to see is this slide. So it's got a little workspace here. It's got a number of aliens. Your aliens are going to be slightly different. I'm going to actually escape out of this because you need to be able to read. Okay, so if you look, so I'm no longer in the presentation, so I'm just in this. And so here it shows you the instructions. So you can drag the aliens and arrange them in a grid however you like, but it needs to be a rectangle. So since you're going to have essentially 20 with 2 missing, it's either going to be a 4x5 or a 5x4 grid. And so like we said, there should be 2 spots for missing aliens, right? And so as long as you're in this view where you can see the different slides, these things are able to be manipulated. You can kind of move these guys around, all right? And so in looking at these, let's try to arrange them in some meaningful way. This is just an example. You don't have, this isn't as many as you're going to have. And so I'm going to choose to kind of place them in this fashion. And we'll look, and so we'll put this. So these guys obviously are members of the same family. Okay, the group or family, they have kind of similar properties here. Not identical. And maybe I want to arrange these guys like so. Okay, maybe that guy there, this guy here, and put this guy down here. Okay. All right, so in looking at our aliens, we've got kind of a way they're set up here. I'm going to actually pause for a moment. I'm actually going to move to a different program, and the only reason why I'm using a different program is because I can draw more easily. I can't draw directly on a Google slide, or at least I don't know how to. So I'm going to use this same kind of setup, and we're going to switch to a different program, my Smart Notebook software. So hold one moment. Okay, hopefully this is recording. I think it is, but if it isn't, we'll always think that it should have been. Let me see. Okay, it seems to be recording, so we're going to continue. Okay, so anyway, in looking at the way I've chosen to kind of organize this, you'll notice these guys all kind of have similar head shape, similar body shape, and you notice that I used kind of a predictable pattern here. So if you look at it, it goes from 1 eye to 2 eyes to 4 eyes. So maybe the eyes are doubling as we go down the group. Likewise, over here on this one, notice they all have a square head and kind of a, I don't know, half a football-shaped body. And if you look at the pairs of arms, it has 1 pair, 2 pairs, 3 pairs. So that makes kind of logical sense. But then, looking at something here, going across the periods, the thing is kind of timed together. These both have yellow bodies. These both have green bodies. Oh, wait a minute. This one doesn't have a blue body. This one is white and this one's blue. And so maybe, just maybe, we're missing some aliens. So instead of this guy going here, maybe there is a missing alien that lives right in between here. Okay? And so by looking at this, some things that we should know. Number one, in looking kind of the alien, we know it's going to have a round head. Okay? We know he's going to have a round head. We know that he's probably going to have a triangle body, 2 legs, 2 arms. Okay? Probably looking at the eyes, it goes 1, 2, blank, 4. Well, logically, this one's going to probably have 3 eyes. And then, so to make the bodies match, it's probably going to be a blue body. Okay, so we could tell that by kind of looking at the neighbors. Okay, likewise, you'll notice we just open up a space down here. And so, once again, there's some things that we can predict about this alien. Let's grab this guy, bring him down here. Okay, so once again, in looking at this, we're probably going to have, looks like a square head. Probably has 2 eyes and a squiggly mouth. We get kind of a half oval football-shaped body. Probably 2 blocky legs. The body color is going to be white, and then for the arms, it goes 1 pair, 2 pairs, 3 pairs. This logically is going to be 4 pairs. So we got a couple arms going up here. Maybe a set of arms here. Set of arms here. And then finally the last set down here. Okay, and so we're definitely seeing some repeating patterns here. So we're able to make some predictions about some of these aliens, and by looking at kind of their neighbors, so there were some definite patterns there. And so the next thing, let's say that I want to find the next alien, maybe an alien that is an outlier, that isn't on here, that isn't on this table. Okay, and so what I'm going to have to do in this instance is I am going to, let's see, and I can pick a few different ones. So let's say maybe I want to know what an alien looks like that goes here. Okay, so one that is in group, if this is group 1, group 2, this would be group 3 and period 2. Okay, well, let's put one other thing on here. Let's say maybe one other piece of information. And I'm just adding this so we have something extra we can go off of. Let's say these guys have got some horns on their head, and that guy maybe has 1 horn. Maybe this guy has 2 horns. Okay, and so let's say I want to draw a third alien here. Well, a couple of things. Number one, I don't know what his head's going to look like, because there is no trend that says circle, square, and some kind of triangle. Maybe he has a triangle head. Okay, I don't know that for a fact. That's something I'm kind of making up. Maybe his body looks really round. I don't know. And let's see, maybe he's got a bunch of little legs. Who knows? There's no pattern. Maybe could I do 2 legs? Sure, but there's nothing really related with the legs. The eyes, once again, I don't know. Maybe it's only got 1 eye. Maybe it's an eye like this. It goes right in the middle. Okay, but I do know this had 1 horn, this had 2 horns. This guy's probably going to have 3 horns. Okay, and the other thing I'm going to know is that his body is going to be green. So there's a bunch of stuff I don't know, but there are some things that I do know for certain. Okay, so if you're doing an outlier, you're going to have to choose some kind of thing, something similar to that. Where you have some properties that are known, some properties that are unknown. If the unknown ones, just make them up, but there's certain things we should have known. We knew that he was going to be green. We knew there were going to be 3 horns. Okay, the other stuff you have some kind of leeway with. Yeah. So in looking at our changes that we made, so I'm back to the Google slide. So looking at the changes that we made, this is kind of how you would fill out the data table. So you would describe your arrangement. And so looking at this, group 1, so everything in that first column had a round head, triangle body. And what was the varying trait? The thing that we're able to make a prediction about was the number of eyes. Group 2, square body, oval head, and the pairs of arms was the varying trait. Going with the periods, I put periods 1, 2, 3, and 4. The only one that I demonstrated, because my drawings weren't the best, but was just purple 2. So you could always tell there, or excuse me, period 2, not purple 2. You can see their body color was the kind of the thing that tied them together. And then here I put the number of horns. Maybe I could have done something like ears or number of fingers or toes or some other thing. I didn't demonstrate in my model. That's why I left them blank. But yours should have a key similarity and varying trait for each group and for each period. And then you're going to say how many groups of aliens you had. So in this example, I had 2 groups and I had 4 periods. So you need to tell how your thing went. And then for the missing alien, so you're going to actually draw this picture in some program in your iPad, in your Sketchpad, whatever, I don't care. Take a picture of your camera roll and insert it into this document. Then describe it. Round head, triangle body, blue body, 2 arms, legs, 3 eyes. Okay? Same thing with this guy. Okay? Explain what he looks like. Square head, squiggly mouth, oval body, 2 beefy legs, 4 pairs of arms, white body. All right? And then for the outlier, you're going to tell me where he lives. So this guy was actually group 3, and then period 2 is where we put him in our model. And so, draw him, what you know about him. So some things you have to make up. Like I knew that he was going to have a green body and 3 horns. But I had to make up the head shape, the body shape, number of eyes, number of legs, all that stuff. And then how would you use this periodic table to figure out what this missing alien would look like? Well, that's your conclusion. You tell me how this activity relates to Mendeleev in his periodic table and how he was able to predict properties of yet to be discovered elements. That's what this whole thing was for. So hopefully that's enough to get you started, and have fun doing the alien periodic table.